All right, we are zooming here on VirginiaPreps.com. Matt Hatfield here with you. At this time, we are joined by a special guest. He is a wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner, defensive back, do-it-all guy for the Richlands Blue Tornado out there in Tazewell, however you pronounce it, I guess. He'll correct me on the proper pronunciation. People get all these names mixed up. They say Norfolk, Honecker. He'll set us straight on it. But he is going to play his college football in the Ivy League with the Penn Quakers. Congrats to him. Sage Webb with us here. Sage, first and foremost, congrats. How's life treating you here as we're getting close to kickoff?
Thank you. First of all, it's treating me great. It's going really well. We just kicked off 2 days last week with Coach Tarter, and it's just a blessing to get the chance to play, and on track to kind of have some normalcy. So it's great.
Yeah, we'll kind of delve back into the past abbreviated season. And by the way, to go back on where you are located and grow up, set us straight on the proper pronunciation. That it is pronounced as
Tazewell.
Tazewell. All right.
For me, it depends on who you are, but I'm a Tazewell.
It gets butchered everywhere. It's just like all these different cities across the state of Virginia. Listen, I butchered Lord Botetourt one time. I thought people were going to come at me with axes and pitchforks. So I got it straight now. So I will get that right from now on because you set me straight there, Sage. Well, let's talk about you and your commitment here. I saw when you made your announcement, I guess it was at the intra-squad scrimmage. Was it Friday or Saturday?
Yes, yeah.
It's kind of a festival atmosphere for, which is great to see. That you said had a chance to visit them in the summer, fell in love with it, everything about it, the atmosphere of the campus. You had double-digit offers, a lot of Ivy League schools, and you got a 4.0 GPA. You're very fast. So tell us about the connection with Penn and what set them apart from the other Ivy League options and just schools you had to choose from in general, FBS, FCS.
Yeah, so I kind of spent this summer. I knew that I wanted to make this decision on where I wanted to play before my senior year and just kind of have that out of the way so I could focus on winning with my team. And, I really didn't know much about the Ivy League, much less Penn at all. So that was one place I was like, I got to get to. And I didn't really – I had high expectations for it to be an Ivy League, obviously, but how great it actually was really blew me and my family's mind. Just the atmosphere, not only within the football coaches, but as well as on campus and off. I had the chance to go out and see Philadelphia a little bit and eat. So that was great. And that really Penn was one of the earlier schools I visited. And I mean, after that, every other place, I went to Georgetown, Campbell, I took 4 or 5 visits. And then just none of them really, they were all subordinate to my time at Penn.
Mm-hmm. And we'll go through some of the numbers you've put up so far there at Richlands High School. But what was the biggest thing you learned? So you got to visit for what, Pennsylvania, Philly, that area is all about. What was the thing you kind of took away that you didn't know going in?
How much of a winning atmosphere it is there, that they're not just competitive in the classroom as you would think of an Ivy League, but they're just as competitive on the field. They want to win just as much as it is a learning program.
What are you looking to study there? Do you know yet?
I believe I'm going to take some classes in business or in economics, something like that.
Oh, good deal. Chance to make that money, whether it be on or off the field.
Right.
Tell me about, too, for this process with you. You had your list of schools. You mentioned places like Georgetown, Campbell, Robert Morris, I think Lehigh, Holy Cross, Columbia, Air Force, Army, Bucknell. Was this a tough process for you the last year and a half, given we had COVID, you couldn't go out to places, and you didn't know if you were going to even have a junior season, abbreviated full, what was going to take place?
No, it was a very difficult process, a process I was thankful for, obviously, to be in that position, but very stressful. Because all of those places that you listed were great places with great coaches. So trying to make that decision was definitely difficult for sure.
Now you're fast. I think you ran was it a 4.50 laser 40?
Yes, sir.
So it wasn't one of those, made up facsimile 40s. It was a legit 40. And we've seen your film since you were a freshman, kind of heard back when I think it was maybe Coach Mance's last or second to last season there at the helm of his long, successful tenure at Richlands. There was talk like there's a kid coming up. He's going to be pretty special at receiver. They've had some good ones. They've thrown the ball around quite well. But at what point did you know you could play college football the next level? Was it, before you got to high school, during your 9th grade, 10th grade year? When did you kind of know, all right, I could be a different dude out here?
Yeah. So in the 8th grade, I attended the Appalachia Prep Combine and it was the first camp I ever went to. Shout out to Mr. Powell. He kind of set me up because I was a big basketball player, really big on the AAU basketball, traveling with a team out of West Virginia. And I attended that camp and ran in a handheld 4.5. And, they had people like, I didn't know if that was really good or, what that kind of like where that put me at. And, we had some people, like, yeah, that's really good. Really, you should really focus on that. And really, maybe football it's not easier, but maybe for me, it was a better route. So, Coach Mance started working with me the summer of my 8th grade year. And from that point on, it really became my goal to get my college paid for, to go play at the next level at that time. And then I guess it really kind of set in on me when I received my first offer from Morgan State. Like, this is maybe like, this is real. Like you're that guy, like you can play at the next level.
Well, I think in some respects, because you play at one of the smaller Southwest Virginia schools, Class 2, people out there know how good you are, but the rest of the state and people up and down the East Coast might not fully realize it. One of the things I've encountered in sort of interactions with high school coaches, even some college coaches, is that the dilemma when a guy gets all region at 3 different spots, like you have, wide receiver, defensive back, and in the return game, where do we play this guy? And my custom answer to people who ask me that is, well, he's a football player. He'll find a way to play a lot. I said that to people about Daz Newsome of Hampton High, who went on to UNC and is now with the Chicago Bears in the NFL. What's your mindset with it, and what's Penn talking about with you as a position? I would imagine day one you can be a special team contributor, but are they looking at you as a wide receiver because you're so electric with the ball in your hands, or are they talking about defensive back?
Right. So all the offers that I received was in the slot, like primarily a slot with the ability to return kicks and punts. But I just kind of go in there with the mindset of I want to make an impact early, and I'll long snap for him if that puts me on the field. I just want to help win, wherever I am.
What, in your opinion, is your best suit as a player? Is it your speed, and what have the coaches, be it at the high school, college level, expressed to you they think that sets you apart?
That and knowing the game, being able to make the first person miss. I think that's a quality that college coaches are looking for, not someone that's, can turn a 5-yard catch into a 15-yard catch, making a defender miss. And I kind of pride myself on that, not getting tackled by the first defender.
Set records as a freshman and sophomore when it comes to receptions, yards after the catch, and the return yards as well. Your sophomore year was just incredible. 42 receptions, 676 yards, 7 TDs to go with 59 rushes for 403 yards and 5 touchdowns. Great averages there in the yards per carry, yards per catch. Oh, by the way, 15 kick returns for 506 yards and a TD after almost amassing 1,600 all-purpose yards. So I'm curious, growing up, you said you were a basketball guy. Did you study more hoopers or football guys? And then right now, who are the guys you try to watch out there in the NFL, college, to try to model your game after?
I was a big basketball guy, like I said. So I love college football, Virginia Tech Hokies. That was my team growing up. But now I love guys like the route running of a Julio Jones. I love Ryan Switzer. Love Ryan Switzer. Guys like that. When Antonio Brown was playing, he was something special too.
So those are the ones that stick out. Okay, good deal. I see a little Switzer in your game. We went.
Yeah. I loved watching him in college. That was great.
What would you say, not necessarily as a deficiency or weakness, but what do you have to get better at and improve upon this coming year as a senior and then at the next level?
I think you can always be a better leader, find a way to motivate your teammates and to get the most out of them while also pushing yourself. You have to go above and beyond if you expect that from your teammates. And I kind of, just continue to work on that every day. You can always push them to get better. I think, also getting stronger in the weight room, that's something that's you can always do. Like you're never going to meet a point where you're already finished. Like that's always something you can improve on. So definitely those 2 things.
Sure. We'll get to your season opener coming up on August 27th against Gate City in a moment, as well as the outlook for this year and rapid fire to finish up with you. But talking with Sage Webb here of Richlands High School on our Virginia Preps Zoom, I want to know too from you, Sage, that the last couple of years you had the whole thing with COVID over everybody, and it's not completely vanished or gone. We're hoping it will be at some point, but this past year, you had a coaching change, and then Jeff Turner becomes the interim for the last game. You guys played pretty well, I think, in that +1 game. Was it against Ridgeview? almost
Yes.
overcame a huge deficit and made it very competitive against a good team that had a great running back in Trenton Atkins there. So now Coach Tarter is the man at the helm for this coming year. Tell me through just the trials and tribulations of the past year. What did you kind of gain from all that and use to apply for this coming year to make you a better football player and off the field as well?
Yeah, well, thankfully we ended on a solid second half. Obviously we didn't come up with the victory there, but there was showings of what can come and what we have to work on. So I think where we're playing, where it's a quick turnaround from last season to this, it's easier to build off that. There wasn't much time from then to now, so we're building straight off of a good ending to last season. And we got a lot of skillful guys back, and Coach Tarter, he's done a great job, not just with us, but he out there every day making sure the field's right, making sure the stadium. I mean, he's done more than I could express, not just for us. So that's exciting. I think that's the biggest thing, is that we're able to pick up off that solid note, and I think we're doing a great job. We had guys buy in over the summer, a lot of guys buy in over the summer that are really going to be game changers on both sides of the ball. So that's exciting.
Tell us some teammates to watch out for in addition to you that will be making plays this year. I understand you got a couple of guys back that didn't play during the abbreviated season.
Right. So Gavin Cox, first of all, I mean, him from last year, but no, he's worked so hard. He's worked since the day season ended last year, or not. Yeah, like our last season, he's worked hard. Drew Simmons, senior receiver. I expect big things from Jeremiah Horn, safety, senior. Dylan Brown, that's one that's worked also really hard, and Bandy, our kicker, he's never seen. He's out on the field anytime that I'm there. When I go to do a little private workout, he's there. He wants it. So
you guys had a great kicker a couple years ago. Was it Forrest? Yeah, he was big time. I remember he had a leg of 50 plus yarders. Those could be pivotal in close games if he can come anywhere close to what Levi did.
No, he's an upcoming junior. But he's worked really hard. He really has, and everybody has. Those are just a few that is off the top of my head. But our whole team, I would say, has bought in. Coach Tarter's done a great job of getting numbers. We have great turnout right now, and just got a lot of people working. The environment in practice is electric. It's not boring. Everyone is excited to be there. I think a lot of times that it's a very stagnant atmosphere, 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away from our first game. But I mean, you would think that we're playing tomorrow with the excitement from our teammates.
So you get more thrill on a hitch and go, or a slant, or slant and go, a hitch, or do you get more thrill on taking that punt back to the house? What's more thrilling for you with the ball in your hands in a key spot?
That's a tough one. I just like scoring. I would probably say the punt returns. Those are exciting, because you're back there and they're all coming. It's your job to make them miss. So I'd say a punt return.
You're not fair catching that sucker. You're going.
No, I'm not a catch guy. I fair caught one against Blacksburg my freshman year, and then I still got hit, and I was like, it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I was like, I'm taking them from now on. If I can get my hand on it.
Yeah. Last 1.5, if you will. It's kind of a 2-part question. Then we'll do rapid fire and let you run here. Your region's a bear. I mean, my goodness, Central Wise and 2D is very good. We know about Graham High School's they're loaded with talent. Some guys going to the next level with Bradshaw and Meadows and so forth. Union, who made a big run last year, they're never out of it. And they just won a state championship in basketball. And then, I think you guys, Ridgeview, despite losing Adkins, there's some teams that it's a tough region to get out of. And you start out of the gate with Gate City, who I understand has got some low numbers, but they got Carson Jenkins going to William & Mary. So give me a thought on that opening matchup, as well as what's it going to take for you guys to be a real threat contender in this region, where I think 4 or 5 teams could certainly justifiably make a case to win it.
Yeah, like you said, very skilled. We have a very tough schedule as a whole. So it's going to be really important to realize that not a single person has to have a crazy game. Like if everyone does their part, everyone buys in, then we're going to come up victorious at the end of the game. Like that's the biggest thing. And then we have numbers. We have people that want to do their job, and that's what it's going to come down to. Like you said, I had the chance to beat Jenkins this summer, and he was a really athletic guy. He's definitely going to, he's a baller. So it's just really going to come down to knowing what we have to do offensively and defensively, and obviously special teams, and just buying into to Coach Carter's scheme, and just executing on our job.
And that first game is at home for you guys, right? August 27th.
Yeah.
So there. So that should be a fun one out there for the Richlands fans to go out and see. And more fans, we're all keeping fingers crossed that we'll have out there at all these high school football games, regular season and into the postseason on Richlands' quest for a championship. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Before we let you run, are you ready to play some rapid fire? These are the really hard-hitting, nerve-wracking questions now.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, here we go with Sage Webb of Richlands High School. He was a first-team All-State VHSCA, Virginia High School Coaches Association pick at wide receiver, also earning all-region honors at receiver, kick returner, defensive back. He does it all for them. All right, Sage, favorite TV show?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Gosh, All-American Netflix series.
All right. I'm stuck on Hulu. I don't have the Netflix at the moment, but I'll have to get back on my Netflix. Favorite movie?
Anything by Adam Sandler. So like one of the old school, like Billy Madison.
Yeah. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, all those.
Yeah.
Trade places with one person in the world. Who you picking?
One person in the world? Oh, probably Kevin Durant. He just won that gold.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good life, and he's got a pretty good bank account. Better than you, me, and a lot of people put together for sure. Visit one place in the world. Where are you going?
Hawaii or the Bahamas.
Okay. Song that you are ashamed to admit you sing along or hum to?
Anything by Taylor Swift. No joke. I'm a big Swift guy.
Oh, now your teammate's going to clown you for that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'll openly admit that one.
Okay. What's your go-to tune in your iPod, or what's your go-to song? I mean, I'm sure you got some Swift songs, but what's your favorite song? You got a favorite song that's not Taylor Swift related, or?
Favorite song?
Yeah.
Probably. I like Drake. Probably Energy by Drake.
Okay. A few more for you. Late night snack. What you choosing?
Cookies, chocolate chip cookies, Pillsbury, every night.
Pillsbury chocolate chip cookies. All right. Fishing or swimming?
Fishing. I'm a lifeguard, but fishing, 100%.
Oh, you're a lifeguard. I didn't know that. Interesting.
I am a lifeguard, yeah.
Well, speaking of water, hot or cold?
Hot, 100%.
Hot. All right.
Yeah. Last
two. What's the one game on the schedule? And I don't want you to think people out there to think that you're putting them on alert here, but what's the one game you're most looking forward to on your schedule for this year? If you could circle one that you're going to be most amped for, most looking forward to, what's the one game?
Probably game one, honestly. I mean, I'm just stoked to play my senior year. Like we said, fingers crossed for the crowd. I'm excited to put on for them. It's been longer for them since they've seen football than we have. We fortunately at least got to play last year. So game one, 100%.
That's spoken like you've been coached up as a senior, because a freshman or sophomore would have given me some answer like later on the schedule. Oh yeah, I'm wanting these guys, and it would have been. But you have some interesting games after that. You got Union, Graham right out of the chute after that, and then you got Abingdon, who's a Class 3 school, Bluefield of West Virginia, Ridgeview, Tazewell, Marion, Davy Crockett from Tennessee after the bye week on the road, and then Virginia High. So 2 out-of-state teams you're playing this year.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. Last one, subjects. Good job. Didn't take the bait on any of that. The subject in school that's most difficult. What's the toughest subject for you in school? You're getting 4.0 GPA plus, so everything's pretty easy for you, I would think. But there might be something that's hard. What's the hardest subject in school?
Math, hands down.
Math. Okay.
Yeah. Any type. Geometry, any of it, pre-calc, you name it, it's tough for me.
Well, you got a calculator, you get through it, I'm sure.
That's right.
That is Sage Webb. He'll get through when he gets to the football. He'll find the end zone and get touchdowns. Richlands High School. He's going to Penn to play for the Quakers in the Ivy League. Do his schooling there as well. Thank you so much. He's got the Penn hat. Wish you all the best this coming year and beyond. Appreciate you doing this, and we'll be watching.
No, I really appreciate you having me.
You bet.